everyone, this is Kathy Roca. I'm a demonstrator, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in southern Wisconsin, and I'm coming to you from the Stamp Studio. I'm so happy you can join me today. Thank you so much. How's everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. Let me know how you're doing, where you're coming from. Hi, Barb. Hope you're doing okay. I totally appreciate that. It's kind of, it's not too bad here today, but it's very, very gray. So it was a perfect day to be in the stamp studio, and I actually had a ton of fun. I have some catching up to do. Hi Sharon, I'm so glad you could join me. Thank you. Catching up. So 2 weekends ago, I did a virtual retreat with my upline. It was great fun. She does it with 3 other, big time demonstrators. These are the people who get the cruises every year, and we hope to aspire to. And it was great. It was a day and a half, virtually, and we played with 4 stamp sets and did training. So that kind of happened, and a couple days went by, and then I caught a cold. I think it was nothing more than an old-fashioned cold, but it sure did get me down. Tired me out and stuff, so that's why I wasn't here last week. I'm totally sorry. But what I found was, it took me down for about a week, and my studio still had out, from this virtual retreat, I had 4 different stamp sets, and, each one was doing a zillion cards. And so I'm still trying to finish those up. They were great fun. And then I started playing today with these masks. So this is kind of where I went today, this afternoon, and I made a bunch of cards really fast and really easy. And so that's what I'm kind of up to today. These are lovely masks. Stampin' Up! Calls them masks. Some people call them stencils. You decide. They come in a package like this. They're really great. And what makes these masks a little different from a traditional stencil that we've been using. So this is pretty much like some of our other stencils. This one here. And by the way, these are in the mini catalog. The January through June. So they're available until the end of June. And these pretty much, we do have some other masks, and actually I think some of them are going away. So I should show you these. We have like these plenty of patterns. I think these are retiring. Sorry, I didn't think about this sooner. And these could mix in and do exactly what I'm doing. There's a little sample of one of the pieces I did, but these are wonderful masks too. So I might as well show them to you while we're talking about masks. But they're all over pattern. So they're beautiful though. This one's more medallion-like. Can you see this? Would help if I had a piece of white paper, wouldn't it? Great planning here, Kath. Okay, there we go. So, have you guys played with these? Oh, and this one's really fun if you want to do mermaids or sea things, kind of scallopy. It's very fun. So those are let me put them back in their little haul. This would have worked for white paper. Plenty of patterns, and I believe these are retiring. So yeah, that's the other thing happening in the Stampin' Up! World, is that the new annual catalog, which I can show you the cover of, that came while I was sick. Yay! It's this one. I can show you the cover. So, okay, I'm squirreling a little bit. We'll get to this. Yay! New annual catalog was announced. Our annual catalog runs from May through the following April. So when they announced the new annual catalog and started sending it to demonstrators, and demonstrators could see a PDF version of it right away. They also announced what was retiring from our older annual catalog. So this is the 21 to 22. So a ton of stuff, a ton. Trust me, a ton, as I have, separated them out in stacks and stacks of stamp sets and all sorts of lovely goodies and papers. Basically, all our designer series paper retires at the end of the year. It's been rare that it hasn't. So a lot of this catalog is going away to be replaced by lovely goodies in this catalog. Which, if you are a demonstrator, we had great fun because starting on April 1st, we were able to order select products from here. So I had a great shopping spree on Friday. That was Friday. Had a really fun shopping spree. That was really good, and I can't wait for it to get here. It'll probably get here sometime next week. So then I can actually show you product. I can't show you the inside. If you too would like to have a great shopping spree like this, a little earlier than, the common folk, let's just call them, join. Become a demonstrator. You don't have to sell. There's this thing called hobby demonstrators. They don't sell. This is all about, me and my love of stamping, and you and your love of stamping. And you get, when you join, you get 20% off, at least 20% off of products. But even better, in your join kit, and you can put anything pretty much you want that's available to Stampin' Up! People. You can't put stuff that hasn't been released yet or stuff that's retired yet into your kit. You make up your own kit, and you pick, I think it's $125 worth of product. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. $125 worth of product for $99, including shipping. So that's a really good deal because that ups it. And in your starter kit right now, you can start shopping from this new catalog. So, or you could put stuff from the old catalog. It doesn't matter. You'd get it at that reduced price for the kit. And then your subsequent order, which if you're anything like me, you waited about 5 minutes and you placed another order as your own demonstrator. And that had 20% off. So that's all wonderful and fantastic. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I'm trying to think of where I could set that down somewhat safe. So part of what's retiring is 2 sets of masks that I did not think of showing you until this very moment. This one is called Basic Patterns. So these 2 are really beautiful. You can see these have been really well used. The only reason these don't look well used is because I actually had 2 sets of them. But again, beautiful, beautiful kind of all over patterns. That's what I was trying to show you. These kind of were more about the all over patterns. There's a couple in here that are not. They're gorgeous patterns. They're forever patterns. They're traditional. They're classic. There's the word. They're classic. You can use these in everything. Polka dots. What doesn't make something happy than put polka dots on it, And these trees have been fantastic too. So all these have been really wonderful and really fun. And we can incorporate them. If you want, I will leave. What do you think? I'm just going to leave the polka dots out. Because what you can do in the sticky stuff, kind of stuck on that. Okay. We don't need to put them back in. We're just going to set them over here. So all of these, either set of them, will work great with this technique that I'm going to show you. So what I'm trying to do is show you this technique that makes these layering masks a little different than these. And what is very cool about these, let me pull this one out and this one out and that one out. Because those 3 are more the traditional, like I just showed you, like those, right? But these are a little more open. And what they allow us to do is layer. So, and you'll see here, I have a 1 and a 2. Stencil this first, and then I stenciled that one. And I'll show you some samples of this. I actually did a whole bunch of these and put them up on Facebook a couple weeks ago. So there'll be some more with that. This one, these could just go plain, but you can also pair them with these. Like this one would totally match up. This one, you'd have like a layer and a solid flower underneath. You know, this one goes kind of directly there. The leaves can then go with it and go out, and this one kind of goes with this one flower. And then there's this butterfly. So these will work too. The butterfly is mostly what I've been having fun with today. I did some others. So I'm going to show you how to layer the butterfly, and what I did was start layering it with things like that. So we're dealing with pattern going inside an object. And if you know me, I love patterns. So this is totally up my gazoo. I have been dealing with stencils, and I've airbrushed and all sorts of ways to apply ink or color through a stencil quickly. And what didn't exist in my past was this concept of these blending brushes, which has made it super, super easy to use stencils and get color on super quick and super smoothly. So that's what we're going to do. But just to kind of kick it up a notch, you know, I told you that there's all these products retiring. And always for me, the saddest thing about what's retiring is the in colors. So let me explain a little bit about our in colors. Stampin' Up! Every year comes out with 5 in colors. And every year retires 5 in colors. But when they come out with the 5 in colors, they last for 2 years. So these 5 in colors came out 2 years ago. So these are the 2020 to 2022 in colors. Aren't you proud of me that I've got that? I'm trying to get numbers like that live is really tough. These are our 20 to 22, and these go away at the end of the month. They go away. They'll be gone. And already as things are selling out, a lot of stamp sets have sold out. A lot of the re-inkers for these pads have sold out. So, you know, and once things sell out now that the retiring list has been announced, they're gone. They're gone. Those masks are still available. At last I looked, the ink pads were still available. I hope they still are, because I wanted to show you because they're beautiful. And don't confuse them with the 21 to 23 in colors. Those are sticking around until April, the end of April of 2023, because we love them. And then, so it's sad for me because I'm such a color person and always have to have every single color possible. But in my excitement, there are new colors coming out, and I'm super excited about the new colors. They're totally beautiful if you haven't seen them yet. They're very happy. Sharon, I know you. You're going to love these colors because they're very bright and they're very bold and they're very fun. But that doesn't mean these have been some of my favorite colors, and they're bright and bold too. I mean, Magenta Madness has made everything happy for me. Whenever I've used it, it's made it happy. Cinnamon Cider has been this great, like, with animals and woods and that kind of thing. It's just so great. Just Jade is just this kind of, you know, it's a nice soft blue. It's kind of relaxing. I really loved it. The Bumblebee, we've had fun with using tons of Bumblebee stuff, and you know, it's a really nice yellow, a little darker, not a bold, bright in your face. It's a little darker. And the one I think everyone is thinking, though I'm curious, like which one you're going to miss the most, but the one I am going to miss the most, and the one I'm hearing I'm not alone in, because there's great hope that maybe someday they will bring it back, because they have done that. Sometimes they do a refresh of all our colors and they bring them back. But the one we're all going to miss the most is Misty Moonlight, because it's just been a really good neutral color. It works with everything. It's a little different than navy, a little softer, not quite as dark. Anyway, hopefully you have played with these. Hopefully you have them. Hopefully you have everything that you need with them. If not, don't delay. Get them now because they will sell out. So I wanted to play with this today. And the other thing I wanted to play with these masks, because I think they work really, really well with great big bold sentiments. That was my thought. I'm going to do a masked image and a great big bold sentiment. And don't let me forget, after we make our card today, I have how many do I have? I have 4 samples. And literally I think I made those 4 samples in about an hour, hour and a half. And some of them have layers, some of them are a little bit more intricate, some of them I think I could have done like 8 in an hour. So that's what I was trying to do. So all I did was create a masked image, a stenciled image, and then paired it with a sentiment from one of these 2 sets, both of which are retiring. And I love, love, love them. So I wanted to make sure you saw them, you looked at them, if you had overlooked them, because sometimes I guess we don't read the sentiment stamps. I think they're so good. Thought you could use some sunny thoughts today. Absolutely my favorite. But what's wrong with a happy hello to you? Or thank you for all the little things you do and for your big heart. Hoping your birthday is filled with all the best things. These are great. They can go everywhere. And the thing about a big, bold image is you can just put it with, one kind of also bold, you can kind of put it with one image and one big sentiment and boom, your card is filled. And this has also been I love when they mix, kind of a script font with a, it's not coming to me what this is, but this is a all uppercase, not script, and that's not coming to me. If it comes to anyone, let me know. Font, and the 2 mixed together, and you can play with these, love forever, let's celebrate, hello friends, you can do all sorts of things with this. Welcome love, I don't know. Celebrate together, that would be a good one too. You're amazing. So you can play with these. And that's super, super fun. And you mix those fonts together and they're super fun. So with that being said, I'm going to do one, and I just used 1 color of ink with the masks. So that's how I'm going to do it. And I'm just putting 1 other piece of paper here, because the key with the mask is you are going to, you're gonna tend to brush and get some, you need a work surface that you can rub your stuff off on. Hopefully that makes sense. Something that I find very handy, there it is to use, how I am. I use removable adhesive. I like that a lot. Sadly, we don't sell any. But that comes in really handy. You can pick that up at your big box stores, I'm sure. And that just helps hold it in place. And then we're going to do this butterfly, and we're going to put him up over here, this great big butterfly. Now, the trick, and if you saw that post I did with the flowers a couple weeks ago, I think it was a couple weeks ago, you have to be careful. So I'm going to brush here, but I could get, while I'm brushing some over here, I could get it through this stencil here. I could get through the stencils here. So what you need to do, and what I find my easiest, you could use a couple things. You want a low tack tape. That's the easiest way to do this, is with a low tack tape. And so this is like Post-it tape. A little bit pricey, but totally usable for this. You guys know I use a ton of this. So that would have worked fine. But I also have this tape from the hardware store. Hardware store, big box hardware store, probably little box hardware store. It's called Delicate Surface. Can you kind of see that in there? Delicate Surface, and it's usually in purple. Versus the blue tape, that paint, this is something that painters use. So they use it to mask off areas that they don't want to get paint on and get that sharp edge, and they don't want to lift up the paint or the wood finish that's underneath there or whatever. So the delicate surface is a little lighter tack than the blue tape. So I hope that all makes sense. And what I'm going to do now, even though I tell you this is a little lighter tack than the blue, it is, but it will pull up the paper. So I tend, and if you saw my desk right now, I have coming off of it all sorts of tape, because I find that, and this probably holds up a little longer than the Post-it tape too. It's best to kind of stick it on my hand like I just did. I want to get rid of some of the stick. That's what I'm trying to do. And I'm going to pull a lot of these pieces that I already have to try and just cover the areas I do not want, and hope I will be lucky, because I have, and you'll see in my cards, I do some creative stuff because I do go over the edge, or I get ink someplace, and then you just get a little creative. It's okay. So put this here. I don't need any over here. There's no card base showing over here. But I do need to get this guy covered here. So what do you guys think? Oh, hi, Anne. It's so nice to see you too. What do you guys think? Have you used masks? Have you used stencils? Tell me what you think about them. Do you enjoy it? So it's super, so here's the twist. I could go straight in here and get a solid butterfly. Just a nice solid. It would be lovely. But what I can do is, and we're going to take this polka dot, because I said I was going to mix and match from the other set. So from the retiring set, I'm going to grab the polka dot and just set it over there. I could just as easily, and you'll see what I did, I could just as easily have done daisies. I could have done this one down here so that you'd have more traditional butterfly. I could have done vines. What else? I did a few, you'll see. Oh, these flowers are beautiful in there. You'll see. I have samples of those. So, but let's do the polka dots so you can see one that's kind of retiring and see how they intermix between sets. And we're just going to use one color of ink. I'm going to do the Magenta Madness today. Super, super fun color. Now, one thing you should know with our blending brushes, I usually hold them down here rather than back here. I have a little bit more control holding them down here. And I just, kind of rub around on here. And then, but if I go right in, sometimes I get a little, it's just a little darker there, which isn't going to matter that much with this. But just know that sometimes you can be a little darker. So sometimes I start off the page, so to speak. And then I come in and I work in a circular motion. And right now I want it to be on the dark side. This is my dark one. Now, if I was smart, you could also tape this down. That would not have hurt. Let's just take this little thing here. There's one thing, if you have it down, then you don't have to worry about moving like I just did. Now, trust me, when I was doing this earlier, I did not tape things down. But what you can do, and notice I put it just at the top there, it makes a hinge so that I can lift it up and see what it's doing. Cool, huh? Doesn't it look cool? So, come back in here. And take, decide how much you want. I just put a little. So that's probably enough. So then I'm going to remove this. Let's take that over there. Set it aside over here. And I'm not going to re-ink my blending brush anymore. Oh, by the way, I meant to tell you all, the blending brushes are going up in price. You know how the world is kind of going up in price right now. So some of the stuff in the catalog is going up with the new catalog. And one of those things is the blending brush. I've posted a list. I think I posted a list on Facebook of some of the things going up. And help me out, people. Paper is going up. So that's another thing. If there is any paper you want, now is the time to get it. Arima paper is going up. Arima paper, the designer series paper is going up. Ink pads are going up. Ink pads and re-inkers are going up. All really good things. Make sure you're all good with those, because now is the time to get them. So anyway, so I'm not re-inking my blending brush. And by the way, the blending brushes, they come, I think 3 to a pack, and you can wash them out. I have a few packs, and I have one designated per, not per specific color, but like per color family. So I have a red, I have a blue, I have a green, you know, so it's that kind of thing. And then if I don't have the one that's quite right, I can always wash it out. But just go over it now. I'm just going to go over it with the lighter hand. And if I wasn't yabbering away, you'd see how super, super fast this is. There we go. So super easy. Now let's very carefully take all this lovely tape, and I'm not going to remove all the tape from you all. Come here, come here. Look at how cute that is. Don't you guys think it's cute? What do you think? Come on, give me a thumbs up. You think it's cute and adorable, because I think it's cute and adorable. And then we're just going, so we're going to be super, super easy. And of course, I took one of the Sunny Sentiments. I took the thank you, because I had used a lot of these other ones in my other cards, and thought, so I think the thank you will just work fine. And I'm just taking Memento, our Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and we're going to ink it up. And one of the things I like to do when I have such a big, bold stamp like this is let's just test it out real quick. Because since I have already created that, I don't really want to muck up my stamping at this point. But the other thing, this is a good time to use the Stamparatus too. It would take a little more time. That's stamping just fine. That's our amazing stamps. Especially the rubber ones like this. Ugh. Not to say the clear have their benefits too that I love so much, you know, but you can get such a solid image with a rubber stamp. And so we're just going to take this here. So as I was saying, if I wanted to make sure I didn't mess up, use the Stamparatus. And then if you don't ink it thoroughly the first time, you can just restamp it. So I'm going to hold it down here for a second. The other thing, if you have our journaling pens, which retired a couple years ago, with black, I can go fill those in. Microns will work too. Any kind of pen like that with a fine point. I have done touch up with that and it's fine. So, but look at that. Is that beautiful? So just to have a little fun with it, I did this. So I just took a plain card base. Thing aside. And so this is one of our thick Whisper White. And again, these are going up in price. The white is going up in price too. And I hope that's cut well. I guarantee that's cut well. It's gonna work. And take a bone folder, because especially with the thick, you really want the bone folder with the thick. It's a little harder. You're also usually folding against the grain. I've told you guys about grain. Paper is made up of fibers and they go one direction. So if you're folding this way, you're folding against the grain. The fibers here, you're folding against the grain, and that's going to be hard. If you're folding this way, the fibers are all going this way and you're folding this way, it's an easier fold. So if you've ever noticed that sometimes paper is easier to fold one direction than another, that's why. It's all about the grain. And then I took, so let's take that, and then just to take it up a little notch, I cut one of our scallop contour dies. I took the biggest one. Let's get rid of the little, come on out. Okay, quick pick tool, always handy for this. You know, one little stubborn guy today. Nope, there's a few over here. So this is always really handy use of the quick pick tool. So we're just gonna do that and grab my Stampin' Seal. Helps if I take the lid off of it. So the reason it didn't start there is the adhesive is farther back. So when that happens to you, just pull it forward a little. And as soon as it's far enough, the adhesive will catch. See? Super, super easy like that. I still have some of that removable. Yeah, this was not, I think my card base is not exactly right. I pulled a card base from my card base box, and I think this is not 100%, but you know what? It works fine. It's a little narrower than what it should have been. And let's pop this up with some dimensionals. Oh, by the way, you guys, I have a new host code for April. So when you order, please use this host code. It's right here, and it's in the description for the video and stuff so that you have it. And I'll get that up on Facebook too. I realized I didn't have that. And I actually took polished pink underneath here. So I pulled in one of the in colors, the polished pink in colors, which is a 21 to 23. But there we go. So super easy card. You could just make a ton of them, and they're just fun. So I'm going to show you some other ones that I made. Some were easier, simpler than others. Some I stepped up. So this is a little stepped up. Oh, I think what we could put on here, let's step it up a little bit more in my little box over here. I have the Retiring in Color Gems. So let's stick some of those on there. I need a little something. So these are going away. These are retiring. If you love them, let's use the big one. Now is the time to get them. Once they sell out, they are gone forever. So another great use of the of this tool is to pick up. Here, line up. This would have been easier before I put dimensionals on. Just saying. So there you go. So that added a little pop to it, I think. Quick pop. And then here was one I did with Bumblebee. And I used the little daisies underneath the daisy. So this is in this one. I used the daisy through it, and I pulled in some of the flowers. We pulled in some of the flowers, did the same thing with the scalloped, and this is also retiring. It's the Bumblebee gingham ribbon. So it's another one. It's going away, and it's so cute. So cute. It gives that kind of summery feel. This one is the one I really think I stepped it up a little bit. I used a little bit smaller, the next size down in the scallop contour, and I did the flower one, the flower mask, which is this one. And then the sentiment came from here. And this is Misty Moonlight. Oh, and this background I did too. So the background is this. So we stepped it up in a little different way, got a little different look. This one was my first one, super, super easy. All one, it is totally just the whisper white, thick whisper white, folded in half, you know, cut a card side, and I'm doing everything right on that. There's no layers. So simple stamping. But this one, I did the flowers that I used here alone, I did them through the mask, and then the happy hello, which came from that Sunny Sentiment set. And then I took, okay, remember how I told you how I, tend to get, if I'm not really good on that taping, you get a little bit of extra. Here and there, you might get a little extra ink. And so I had a little blob of ink over here, and I just made that an advantage and proceeded to put the ink all the way around. I just took my brush like this and went all the way around, and it added a little frame and a little something, I think. So that's all I did. It was that simple. So super simple card. Another super simple one using the Retiring Just Jade. I told you, it's really a beautiful color. Another one of those dots, and the Let's Celebrate came from the Create with Friends set. And so that one I did the butterfly with the more traditional butterfly design on the inside. Super fun. I hope you guys like this. I hope it gives you some ideas. Again, try these. If you haven't tried these masks, totally try them. They're not scary at all. As one says, it is only paper. There we go. We'll move this over a little. And please, I hope you have liked this. Please thumbs up, sharing it, hearts, all that kind of stuff. Super helps a ton. Please share the video. And I hope you have a lovely week. And I will see you next week, next Tuesday at 4:30. See you then. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.